What is good? Wolf is here, and I have never covered anything Nintendo in my videos, and I do like all kinds of PC, PlayStation, Xbox stuff. So right here, right now, I'm going to finally cover a little bit of Nintendo, my thoughts on Nintendo and what they've been doing with the gaming space and where they shall be going and everything. Now me, I don't actually. I think the last Nintendo console that I've actually owned was like an N64 back in the day. So this is just totally. It's more or less like an outsider's point of view of like, I haven't really kept up so much with Nintendo, but with Pokemon Go and the new NX, I'm pretty sure it was called. Just the new news seems like Nintendo might be coming back to the forefront a little bit. I don't think they're going to be taking over the industry anytime soon, but they are definitely back on the right track. They got their feet underneath them. They got a little bit of a fire lit underneath their butt to get going. All right. First off, let's talk about the thing that's been sweeping the nation, the world, and everything in between. This Pokemon Go app. It's an app. I don't know. Is it really a game? I mean, I've heard about like swarms of people going to collect a digital creature on a screen. I don't get the hype behind it myself. I'm sorry. I tried it. There was a lot of information they wanted. Clicking through like 6 different screens of allowed this app to access this and that. It was like, are you kidding me? So then there's the fact of, it brings everybody together. Okay, well, so does online gaming, with the exception of people behind a microphone that you can't actually see, so they trash talk it. Okay, yeah, well, what happens when you start getting brawls out in the parking lot playing Pokemon Go? I'm just saying. So yeah, Pokemon Go, definitely in favor of Nintendo. It's definitely underneath their brand, and the news outlets. Actually, IGN was sparked. This video was IGN. Was like, well, Nintendo's crushing the app market right now with Pokemon Go, and they're making a boatload of money because it's been downloaded so much and it's been played so much and everything. All right, so as you can see right here, Pokemon Go. Yes, this is the Twitch website, and they're freaking streaming it through their phones, I guess, or something like that. Not quite sure how they're doing this. Some people are streaming directly from their PCs onto Twitch. Other people are literally in the streets with their phone, live streaming them catching virtual characters on the screen. I say we should take AR technology and VR technology, throw those guys together, and make the first ever AR VR crossbreed crossover game, and do some gotta catch 'em all style stuff. Everything. That's cool. It's good. Like I said, the last Nintendo thing that I really got into was back on the N64. Well, Nintendo Pokemon put together was Pokemon Stadium back in the day. I don't know how many people actually remember that game, or the 2 games that they came out with, but definitely with the Pokemon tournament, which was at Evo, I was like, whoa. Just seeing a Pokemon game at Evo. Okay. Turn-based strategy was Pokemon Stadium, which is a lot like Final Fantasy. Definitely another franchise that's coming back strong. So are we going to see another Pokemon Stadium? I would think that if Nintendo is smart, they will cash in on all this Pokemon Go stuff, make Pokemon Stadium, and sell a boatload or a couple boatloads worth of consoles, so people can get their hands on something else as Pokemon, that they don't have to travel across the world to catch them all. I mean, I'm sorry. I was a fan of Pokemon way back in the day. Like literally, I had a full size Pikachu pillow and everything. Like I was on the hype train for Pokemon back in the 90s. It's been a long time. So I mean, I was young. I was playing Pokemon Stadium. The biggest thing I ever wanted was a Pokédex, just so I could like look up all the things and everything. Like I was into it. Um, and then I see this craze going on. I'm like, okay, this is cool. The next generation getting on to it. Anybody from the '90s is like, latching on to this thing. Also, it could bring, gaming into a new generation and using AR technology that was already used by the PS Vita and other, software and everything. But this goes actually, that brings up another point. This goes to show something that I have been saying for years. You can have the greatest technology in the world, but if you do not have the developers behind it to do something with it, like this augmented reality technology, this is the most genius way of using augmented reality because it is so catchy, it is so on point of like catchy. I just said that. Gotta catch 'em all. So yeah, but this is genius using this technology the way they are doing it because they are bringing people in a technology that's already been there for years, been established. Like I said, Vita did it with little cards that you place down, and then you can make like the dude jump off the waterfall or whatever it was, and all that stuff. And you could, I thought it was actually really cool the way you could do it like that. It was like that was the thing before VR became a thing. So yeah, Nintendo. So here's the thing. So everybody got really, really mad about the next Nintendo system because it wasn't on par, and I guess they screwed it up and everything. It wasn't up to what people's expectations were going to be of the system. And now they've got the mobile market, which is, like I said, is absolute genius. Minecraft has been trying to take over the mobile market. You had Flappy Birds for the longest time. We've had other apps and everything come and go and whatnot. And Pokemon Go is just another trend in all that stuff. Like I think probably about a month or two from now, everybody's gonna be like, okay, what's the next thing? It's just right now, this is what everybody's attention is focused on. And the other thing I want to say too is if you are going outside in the world at the times like this when there is so much chaos and riots and everything going on and there is groups of people getting together, definitely be careful out there. We don't need more stats of people getting shot or run over or whatever the case may be, whatever the next crazy thing that people can think of to hurt people. Be very careful going out there. I mean, I would rather them come out with, say, the next Pokemon Stadium, get everybody sitting in their houses where it's a little more safe and, people competing online and maybe tournaments starting up of it and people doing game battles and making money off from everything. Like, that would be so cool to see that instead of, people going out and possibly, getting hurt out in the streets and everything. So, yeah, that's kind of my thoughts around all this stuff. Nintendo is definitely, they got themselves in a very good spot to become very, very big once again, because Nintendo back in the day, the NES, the Super NES and all that stuff, it was the biggest console in the market back in its time. Nintendo 64 was another huge console with GoldenEye and Banjo-Kazooie and Star Fox, and I'm sorry if I miss any game whatsoever that was really cool from back then. I know there's a lot of rare replay games that are available now in remastered form that were on that system and everything. So Nintendo, they've had a pretty decent track record back in the day. Nowadays, not so much. The biggest thing on it is Super Smash Bros., which is huge. That has been, and that's another one that's been at Evo. We just barely had Evo. That's why I keep saying that. But because like literally we're like 24 hours off. Yeah, it was 24 hours ago. That's what I'm trying to say. So. Yeah, they are in a very good spot. It's just going to come down to the publishers and developers to market the next big Nintendo title the right way. And also, it's going to come down to the developers to make something that keeps people's interest, that is accessible, but also at the same time fun to play. Something that's easy but very fun, that's catchy, that can get people competing in a non-violent way, hopefully. And possibly also, like I said, tournaments. Tournaments are so huge, especially now that we have Twitch and broadcasting gameplay of competing. I mean, what do you think Call of Duty has been riding off from for the last, few years? Because everybody's like, I hate this game, I hate that game in the franchise. They ride off from their tournament success. Street Fighter is another example. With Street Fighter on the PlayStation, Halo, that's kept in the spotlight because of tournaments. Because as soon as they have a big tournament, the game's population goes whoosh, because everybody's like, well, now I want to compete. Now I want to try and do that. And that is awesome. That is great. Bring in all the competitors that we can bring in, and be competitive, not just sit in a corner, of course, if you're playing shooters or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I mean, Pokken could definitely be a step in the right direction. I know that was actually kind of a fun game. There was definitely a lot of like, is this going to be something that's going to be cool to play? Is this going to be fun at all? And I think it turned out pretty decent. There was definitely some stuff that could have been, reworked and changed. That's what the next, title's for, though. So, yeah, Nintendo definitely setting themselves up for a possible comeback into being a competitor in this whole spectrum of the gaming world once again. I feel like they have really been, Mario Maker. That's another one that comes to mind. That was a really good one. Of course, Mario, one of the most successful franchises in gaming history of all time. But lately, of course, they've been struggling with that. But Mario Maker was definitely one of those games where another genius idea that they'd taken off from somebody else. So Mario Maker to me was just Minecraft with a Mario skin. Essentially, that's what it is. But it's genius because the game never ends. You have levels. I mean, we've all seen the video, or a lot of us have seen the video anyways, where the dude, he made the stage saying, will you marry me? And then, boom, he's engaged off from a game stage that he made using Mario Maker. That's awesome. Stuff like that really separates games from other medias and everything. So, yeah, my thoughts are definitely Nintendo's got a ability to make a comeback to being a cool system once again, and it's just going to come down to them coming out with the next game that really hits, and it hits big. They are setting themselves up perfectly with Pokemon Go. So hopefully we see them come out with something. I would really love to see something that is really fun to watch. I don't see myself getting a Nintendo system anytime soon, just because I'm not into Nintendo stuff. But it would be fun to watch some really cool games come out for it, just so you can actually check them out on Twitch or whatever. Yeah. So thanks for checking this video out. And if you like it, hit that thumbs up. You can share it around. And as always, of course, if you subscribe to the channel, it's going to make sure that you stay tuned for all new videos coming soon.